Hey guys, it's Furious Black again. It's another episode of Furious Truth. Just the things that I think about that is my opinion on the life that we live, you know. I asked a question, do black people need therapy? From Jim Crow era to the Black Wall Street era to the drugs and epidemic in the prison industrial complex, the unwarranted killings that happened in America, which seem to target a particular group. And then when it starts to shift off from another group, does it change in the eyes of those that control the world, right? And it does. But at the same time, do we need therapy? And my answer is I think we do. We need somebody that we can go to talk about these things, that understands our struggle and give us accurate advice on how to and what to fix in our lives. Not that we need to accept our circumstances, but what can we do to fix our circumstances as a whole and as a people? Because as a nation, we really don't have an identifying place which we could or should call home. I've seen different things where it says, the original Native Americans that were here were actually black, and it's the people that are here. In the 1800s, they switched the Native Americans to actually being Negroes, right? So when you start to put all these things in perspective and you start to try to understand what's really going on, the question starts to be, how do we fix it, right? And that is a tall order to, ask, because I feel like not one person has the answer. I feel like as a group we have the answer, because one man might devote his time to a particular, part of our issues, which, might be our spirituality or our food or our criminal background. Regarding the news, when they put it on there, it's only mainly us that they portray as criminals. And is that a psyche that we have to try to fix? I mean, most of us don't think that is a problem or even know that it's a problem. And we should definitely go into looking about that type of stuff, because we shouldn't let this world affect us as much as it is. Because now we're learning that America is a merchant country, right? America is a company. It's not a country. It's a global company that is bent on dominating and conquering other countries in the known world. And that affects people that are in the lower rung of a imperial country or company, right? So we do need people that we can talk to. I think we should talk to people. I think professionals, as far as in that field. And one guy did bring it to my attention. He said we should, but we shouldn't go to our enemies. And that is a key thing when you think about the dynamic of how black people get their answers to their problems. Like those that don't deal with the issues that we deal with would tell us, oh, well, such and such was, 50 years ago. we're six generations away from that. You know, 6 generations. A generation is what, I think anywhere from 14 to 15 years between each generation. So if you think about that, that's, over 100 and something years ago, right? So you have to really think about that. And when you look at the crimes and the different things that we created to benefit ourselves into becoming something better, they destroyed it, right? Like you have the Crips and the Bloods, the Black Wall Street, the Black Panthers, the Move Project, rap music that came out of the Bronx, all these different organizations, which when they started getting money and they started working together, they probably would have started putting their money into farms, grocery stores, construction companies, just things that would have benefited us in the long run. But because they seen that that's what we would have done, they decided that it's better that we integrate it into a burning system or a system that they control, so that we would never really depend on ourselves. We would always depend on another group in order to rectify or fix our issues. And that's part of the problem right there. We have to admit that we look to other people to rectify our problems. And I think a lot of people don't do that. I think a lot of people don't do a lot of self-reflection. And when I say self-reflection, I'm talking about self-reflection on their people. Not in the negative way, but in a non-objective way, right? When you go into the hood and you see how the hood looks and how things are torn down, houses are not built up nicely, and people come there just to take your money and they take forever to fix your shit, you start to think, maybe the issue is we're just no good. So why would I want to be a part of something that is not so good? That can hinder, a growing person's psyche, especially if you see, somebody in your school, it's a white teacher telling you, do this, this, and this, and you'll be just as great as me. And then you go home and you see, a bunch of people doing things that's opposite, and they're definitely more successful or just as successful as the teacher that you just left at a younger age. So it's a dichotomy. And then you have people that don't look at things that way, right? So this is what I mean by that therapy thing. We definitely need to pay attention to that, try to fix that, and figure out who and what would be our therapist. I think the closest thing to that in religion would be the Catholic Church, where they do the confessional. And in the confessional, I don't know. I've never been in one. They probably do give you some understanding on, or perspective on, your dealings with your life. I'm not too sure. But I know that people go in there and usually tell, whatever sin they have committed. And it gives them a sense of relief of, I done something wrong, or something was wrong done to me, and I've got that off my chest. I think that's a major key to this whole thing. But, this is just a little video I wanted to do regarding that. So, I think, my personal opinion, I think that we do need therapy. I think that it should be those of our people they don't necessarily have to go to school, but they have to be acceptable to wanting to help one another and helping their own people. And that is a major part of it. Not that you're going to go out and tell people other people's issues, and even those people that are listening need to be able to go talk to somebody as well. Because sometimes in our own families, they don't really understand what we're seeing and what we're perceiving in the world, and they're not able to comprehend it as if somebody that was in the same predicament as you. So with that, I'm Furious Black. Thank you for watching another episode of Furious Truth, and let's work on getting some therapy out there, guys. Thanks.